Retro Mondays.
Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to another Retro Monday. The goal of this show is to turn your Monday into a fun day. Now, today's game is an oldie and not really a goodie, but I would like to highlight this game anyway because I like some knight dragon slaying action in my video games. Caste of Dragon was an arcade game released in Japan as Dragon Unit back in 1989. The developer Sega stuck to the same formula of a princess gets kidnapped and it's up to her guy to save her. So after risking life and limb, what is our hero's reward? A kiss! It was simpler times back then. Today, the girl just bakes you a cake. At least that's what happens in the Mario games. The arcade game's popularity was okay back in the day, even so it was enough for Athena to want to port the game to the Nintendo Entertainment System. And what a bad port it was! The Dragon's Unit port became a side-scrolling action game and was nothing like the arcade original. Okay, so right off the bat we're treated to a traditional overworld map, kind of like in Ghosts and Goblins or Castlevania. Our hero's name is Gurden, I think, and he must rescue the princess from Dark Larza's clutches, because the king and everyone else in the kingdom is cowering in a cave. Great! Okay, I'm gonna call timeout for a second. See those two bars right over there? The orange bar acts as your health for the game, but the blue bar is your experience meter. As you vanquish your enemies, the blue gauge will fill, thus making you stronger. Time in. Now the gallant knight can swing his sword and jump around. By crouching, the knight can use a small round shield to fend off attacks, but it doesn't always work or guard against the fireballs. After defeating some enemies, they will drop a helmet power-up, which grants you a blue suit of armor. This does one of two things for you. It gives you an extended health bar and makes you a little bit stronger from attacks. The armor power-ups are blue and also gold. Next we have the weapons and the power-ups. Slaying bosses is a key to earning the two new weapons, throwing daggers and a morning star. The daggers are great for attacking monsters from a distance, and you use the morning star to keep enemies from touching you. Plus, it's the most powerful weapon in this game, but that power comes with a price. Next we have the power-ups, and they're a lot more common, but they don't last very long. In order to restore your health, you need to run into a wandering fairy by jumping into them. Once the player reaches the fortress, they're able to select any stage they want to, but I would advise starting at the top and gaining the items needed to face the dragon. Otherwise, you'll lose, and very badly. Immediately, I know exactly what you people are thinking. This game looks just as bad as The Adventure of Link. Well, if you watched my review of Zelda 2 way back, you would know that that game wasn't that bad. Make no mistake though, this game is beyond playable, and it's really bad. Well, what exactly makes it so bad though? For one, only the Daring Knight has a life bar, and nobody else does, even the bosses. Everything is a guessing game. The game is well known for its terrible hit detection. It's just so awful that it's hilarious. From projectile attacks, enemies walking right through you, and they're able to hit you from far away with a close combat weapon. Still, that's just the icing on the cake, gamers. By pressing the start button, you would think it pauses the game, right? Wrong! Actually, it's how you change your weapons! Select would pause the game! Yeah, that really made sense. Leveling up takes forever in this game, and the best enemies to kill are the flying ones. This game features no life system or continues either. When you die, you start the game all over again. At least Ghosts and Goblins gave us extra lives, Athena. Oh, don't worry, I'm just getting revved up. The most powerful weapon in this game can kill you, if you use it too much. What, are you kidding me? What were the developers thinking? This game is beyond twisted, folks. Let's add insult to injury though, why not? Did you know you can revisit levels you've beaten? Well, you can! But you're rewarded with, get this, nothing! Yes, the flying enemies that help you level up are in these levels, but even if you do manage to kill them, you earn zilch for your troubles. No experience, nada! I'm sorry, but that's just sadistic. What's good about this game? For one, I'll never have to play it again. There you go. No, I'm just kidding. Graphically, it didn't look too bad. The sprites looked very detailed, the level backgrounds have some nice touches to them, although the lightning strikes, while cool at first, started to ride my last nerves. But I do have to say that the Hall of Mirrors level is probably one of the coolest looking graphics I've seen in an S game. Hey look, I can see my reflection! And that's the extent of my excitement for this review. The music is actually a saving grace for this game. It did a good job, and the composer should be very proud. Why? Because the opening music fools you into thinking you're about to play a great game. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for the guy though, because the game's score was very well done and wicked catchy. I just really love the music for this game. I suppose you could say another good quality about this game is there's no time limit. You can play the game at your pace, so there you go. Every gamer that I've talked to always says that the Morning Star rules. Well, I'm gonna say that the knives and the power-ups are the best thing about this game. Throwing knives puts distance between you and the bad guys, which is a very good thing. Collecting the power-ups makes your sword shoot beams of fire! And lightning attacks too. Even though these power-ups are timed, you will love smiting your foes with the lightning. In conclusion, does this game have any redeeming qualities? No. Because of this train wreck though, Athena was forced to get it right. Actually, while the sequel Swordmaster is a better game, I would say it's the lesser of two evils in my book. But that's nowhere near as bad as this one, so I think we're good. Bottom line, this game isn't worth playing. This is one princess that deserves to be left in her tower for some other sucker to come around and try to save. However, I will say this, if you can find the arcade version of Castle of Dragon, it is a good game for you to play. It's not as good as Final Fight, but the game is still fun to waste some of your cash on, and it really wasn't that bad a game. It just really couldn't compete with a lot of the great beat-em-ups that we saw in '89 and 1990. So, I hope you were all deeply entertained for this episode, and for my fans whose jaws are still open, yes, sometimes I make reviews of bad games, once in a blue moon, in kind of a dark, sarcastic, humorous fashion. Though it's rare, but some games from the olden days, my hate still burns with the passion of 1,000 suns! So Retro Mondays will sometimes feature games I really didn't like growing up. Next time, in honor of Mortal Kombat's comeback, we will be looking at my favorite game in the series, Mortal Kombat 2. Man, I love me some fighting games. Hey, do me a favor. If you're new to my content, then subscribe already. It's free. Come on, you can't beat free. Still, if you're itching to pay for something, my band's album Retro Hits is now available on iTunes. Just click the description below this video. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you were very entertained and learned something too. Well, until we meet again, gamers, God bless, and happy gaming.